Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, do people still find me attractive? As the years pass and life adds its stories to our skin and our eyes, it's natural to question whether we still have that magnetic presence we once carried without even thinking. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or even beyond, you might feel like the world's attention has shifted toward the younger generation. But what if I told you that your attractiveness hasn't faded at all? In fact, in many ways, it has grown. Attractiveness in our later years isn't about tight skin or a chiseled jawline. It's about something much deeper, something that actually commands more respect and admiration than youthful features ever could. It's your wisdom, your calm, the way you carry yourself with quiet strength. It's your ability to listen, to lead, and to create comfort in the room simply by being in it. Most older men don't realize this. They underestimate just how magnetic they become. Not in a loud or flashy way, but in a grounded, steady presence that others find calming, even irresistible. This kind of appeal doesn't show up in flirtatious glances or flashy Instagram likes. It shows up when people lean into your words, when women smile a little longer in your company, or when your opinion becomes the one people turn to in uncertain moments. In this video, we'll explore 7 signs that show you are still, and maybe more than ever, a truly attractive man. These signs go far beyond appearances. They dive into the way people respond to you, the energy you bring into a room, and how women of all ages see you, not just with their eyes, but with their emotions and instincts. Stick around until the end, because the final insight will change the way you see yourself. You may have overlooked your own strength, your own aura, but by the end of this, you might finally understand what others already see in you, and hopefully, you'll start to believe it too. Sign 1. People seek your guidance and presence. One of the most powerful, yet often unnoticed signs that you're still an attractive man, even as you age, is how people respond to your presence. If others often seek your advice, turn to you for support, or simply enjoy being around you, that's not just a reflection of respect. It's a subtle but unmistakable indicator of your lasting appeal. Whether it's a younger person asking for life advice, someone confiding in you at a social event, or even a stranger striking up a conversation while waiting in line, these moments reflect how others perceive your energy. Women especially are naturally drawn to calm, confident men who exude wisdom without trying to dominate the room. They're not necessarily looking for loud personalities. They're looking for groundedness, maturity, and trust. And that's exactly what your presence communicates. Take someone like Alan, 69, who never considered himself particularly good-looking. But over the years, he noticed that people regularly approached him for insights, stories, or simply his company. He didn't seek attention, but his quiet demeanor, composed voice, and thoughtful words pulled people in without him realizing it. What he thought was ordinary, just being himself, was actually deeply attractive to others, especially for women who are tired of shallow charm and empty gestures. A man who listens, speaks thoughtfully, and carries himself with quiet confidence becomes irresistible. At this stage in life, your attractiveness isn't just about how you look. It's about how you make people feel when they're around you. If you often find yourself being the person others turn to, the one they ask for guidance, lean on during stressful times, or enjoy longer conversations with, recognize that it's not just about respect. It's attraction in one of its most mature and genuine forms. That calm strength you've cultivated over the years, that's your edge, and it's more appealing than you think. Sign 2, you receive compliments on your style and grooming. As you grow older, one of the clearest signs that you're still considered attractive is the attention you receive for how you dress and take care of yourself. If people often say things like, "You always look so sharp," or "That color really suits you," they're not just making small talk. They're noticing your presence. And more importantly, they're noticing the effort and care you put into your appearance. Style is no longer about chasing trends when you're in your 60s or 70s. It's about knowing what works for you. A well-fitted jacket, clean grooming, polished shoes, or even a distinctive scent can speak volumes. It tells people, including women, that you respect yourself and that you still value showing up well in the world. And that effort doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, it often stands out more at this age than it did in your younger years. Take Roger, 71. He didn't think of himself as particularly stylish, but over the years he made it a habit to wear clothes that fit well and made him feel confident. He kept his beard neatly trimmed, wore subtle cologne, and always polished his shoes. He began to notice that women, even younger ones, would compliment his style more frequently. What he thought was just being presentable actually made him quietly magnetic. They weren't just seeing a nice outfit, they were seeing a man who carries himself with dignity and self-respect. So if you've been complimented on your appearance or noticed people paying attention to how you carry yourself, don't brush it off. It's not just politeness. It's an acknowledgement of your lasting charm. In a world where many people stop caring, the fact that you still do makes you incredibly attractive. Sign 3. Women hold eye contact with you longer than usual. One of the most subtle yet powerful signs of continued attractiveness in your later years is prolonged eye contact. When a woman maintains eye contact just a little longer than necessary, it's not random. It's instinctive. It's often a sign of admiration, curiosity, or even quiet attraction. Especially as you age, when physical beauty is no longer the loudest currency in the room, this kind of attention becomes even more meaningful. You may have noticed it in passing, at the grocery store, during a casual conversation, or even while waiting in line. A woman glances at you, your eyes meet, and instead of quickly looking away, she holds that gaze for a second or two more than expected. That moment of stillness isn't awkwardness, it's interest. It's her way of silently saying, "There's something about you." This isn't about being flashy or overly confident. In fact, it's often the calm, grounded demeanor of older men that draws these longer glances. When you walk with purpose, listen attentively, and speak with presence, you project something most younger men can't: emotional maturity. And women feel that. If eye contact is followed by a soft smile, a light laugh, or her leaning in when you speak, those are even stronger indicators. It means your presence is being felt. You're not just in the room, you're noticed. So the next time you catch someone looking at you a little longer than usual, don't dismiss it. It might just be one of the clearest, quietest signs that you're still turning heads. Sign 4. Women naturally gravitate toward you. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it shows up in the simplest ways, like when women seem to enjoy being around you, even in the most casual settings. Maybe it's at a family gathering, a cafe, or while waiting for an elevator. If you notice that women initiate conversation, laugh more around you, or linger a bit longer than expected, it's not by accident. It's a sign that your energy, presence, and the way you carry yourself are quietly magnetic. You see, as we get older, the need to impress fades, and that alone makes you more appealing. Women are naturally drawn to men who feel secure in who they are, men who listen more than they talk, who don't rush, and who make others feel at ease. That calm confidence becomes a rare trait, and people, especially women, notice it immediately. Perhaps you've had moments where a woman opens up to you out of nowhere, confiding in you about something personal. Or maybe she finds excuses to stay in a conversation a little longer. That's not just friendliness. That's attraction disguised as trust. Women tend to gravitate toward men who offer stability, warmth, and a sense of emotional safety. And if that sounds like you, it's not luck. It's presence. You don't have to chase attention. When you embody grace, maturity, and composure, attention finds you. So if women seem to gravitate toward your company, see it for what it is: a quiet, powerful reminder that your appeal has only deepened with time. Sign 5. You have a confident, relaxed presence. There's a kind of power in a man who walks into a room without needing to say much, yet everyone senses him. That's the power of relaxed confidence. It's not loud or flashy. It doesn't demand attention. It simply is. And if that sounds familiar, you may not realize just how attractive that energy really is. A confident, relaxed presence is one of the most magnetic traits a man can have, especially in his later years. Why? Because it signals emotional stability, life experience, and self-assurance. It shows that you've been through life's highs and lows and have come out the other side with a calm strength that younger men are still searching for. Maybe people naturally listen when you speak. Maybe you don't feel the need to fill every silence. You smile when it matters, speak when it counts, and let your body language do the rest. Women notice that. In a world full of noise and insecurity, a man who moves with ease stands out. You don't chase approval. You don't need to explain yourself. And that quiet certainty, the way you sit comfortably in your own skin, creates an aura of respect and subtle attraction. A man who is not in a rush to prove anything is often the man others admire most. So if people often say you seem calm, grounded, or easy to be around, know this: they're picking up on something deeply attractive. It's not about how loud your presence is, it's about how steady and reassuring it feels. That's confidence at its finest, and it speaks louder than words ever could. Sign 6. You receive subtle compliments about your physical condition. When people, especially women, make offhand comments like, "You look strong for your age," or "You carry yourself so well," they may not realize it, but they're pointing to something deeper than just casual admiration. These subtle compliments are often quiet signals of attraction. They suggest that your physical presence still makes an impression, even if you're not trying to flaunt it. You don't need to have a chiseled six-pack or bench press like you did in your 30s. What matters more now is the way you maintain yourself, your posture, your energy, your movements. A man who stays active, stretches, takes walks, or simply moves with ease and balance sends a clear message. I take care of myself. That effort doesn't go unnoticed. Think about it. When someone remarks on your handshake, your stride, or even how you stand, they're observing more than your appearance. They're noticing your vitality, the signals your body gives off about strength, health, and discipline. And in a world where many men give up on self-care after 60, you stand out simply by showing up well. So if people compliment you in these small, almost throwaway ways, "I hope I have that much energy when I'm your age," or "You don't seem your age at all," pay attention. These aren't just kind words. They're signs that your fitness, your posture, and the way you carry yourself are quietly turning heads. You're showing the world that strength doesn't fade with age. It evolves and becomes even more attractive. Sign 7. Women laugh at your jokes, even the corny ones. Laughter is one of the most powerful and honest signs of connection. When women laugh at your jokes, especially the simple, harmless, or even downright corny ones, it's not always because the joke itself was brilliant. Often it's because they enjoy you. Your energy, your timing, the twinkle in your eye when you deliver a playful punchline, it all adds up to something very attractive. Humor signals emotional intelligence, ease, and approachability. And unlike physical features, it doesn't fade with age. In fact, many older men become more charmingly funny with time. You've got the stories, the perspective, and the timing that only experience can teach. And when women laugh in your company, it shows they feel safe, comfortable, and emotionally engaged. Take a moment to recall the last time a woman chuckled at your comment. Maybe she leaned in a little closer. Maybe her smile lingered longer than expected. These aren't random gestures. They're real signs that your presence brings joy, and that joy is deeply attractive. So if women consistently enjoy your humor, even when your jokes are more dad-style than stand-up, take it as confirmation. You're someone they want to be around. Your personality shines, and your ability to spark laughter is one of your most irresistible traits. It's not about being the funniest man in the room. It's about being the one who makes others feel happiest. And that kind of attractiveness, it only gets stronger with age. Final thoughts. You're more attractive than you think. As we come to the end of this video, take a moment to truly reflect on what we've uncovered. Being attractive as you age isn't about looking like a movie star or chasing trends meant for people half your age. It's about presence. It's about confidence. It's about the kind of energy you bring into a room without even trying. And if you've recognized even a few of these signs in yourself, there's something you need to know. You're far more attractive than you've given yourself credit for. You see, true attractiveness, especially in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, is rooted in qualities that younger men are still learning to develop. It's in the way you carry yourself. It's in your calm, steady presence. It's in your ability to make someone feel safe, seen, and valued in your company. Women notice it, younger people admire it, and the world responds to it, even if you're not fully aware of it yet. So don't let the mirror or a few gray hairs define how you feel about your attractiveness. Look instead at the way people respond to you. Notice how often someone lingers a bit longer in conversation with you, how they laugh at your jokes, how they value your perspective. These aren't accidents. They're signs of something deeper, something earned over time. You're not just attractive. You're magnetic in a way only life experience can shape. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these signs resonated with you the most? Do you see yourself in any of them? Or perhaps you've noticed one in someone else you admire? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Your story could inspire someone else watching today. If this video opened your eyes or lifted your spirits, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. You're not just aging, you're evolving. And in many ways, you're becoming more attractive than ever. We'll see you in the next one. Stay confident, stay strong, and remember, your presence still turns heads.